Check. Checkington. All right, everybody. We are live. Cool. All right, so I've got a couple important announcements for you folks. This is not going to be a typical live stream, although I will get to answering questions if enough people come into the chat. So let me program the chat real quick so that if folks have questions, we can get them answered. I'll just kind of keep the question, the chat open for the time being. But there's a couple things that I want to say. I've got to announce to you folks moving forward that are important for everybody, particularly people that buy product from us. And that is that, number one, the price structure for coaching is going to change. The actual structure for coaching is going to change. As a brief example, we had a 1 month, a 3 month, a 6 month program, and then a 1 year program. We are going to eliminate some programs and we're going to sort of simplify some programs. The pricing structure on coaching will change. And some new digital products are going to be launched. Some more fully detailed blueprints on what to do specifically regarding sexual function on TRT in general and on different esters of testosterone. All right, so that's kind of the overview. I will say that this change takes effect this coming week, so the week of Christmas. I know a lot of you folks will probably be busy with Christmas and whatever, so you'll get to it in the new year or whatever, but effectively next week, these changes are going to be instituted, as well as the 50% discount that ran through Cyber Week, which extended for 2 weeks, will be over. All right, so that's the other important point. As it stands right now, the Cyber 50 discount still is in effect for the rest of the weekend. But Sunday at midnight Eastern Time, it'll be 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, that coupon code is scheduled to terminate. So it will be over. You cannot use it anymore. Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So as it stands for the weekend, we still will have 50% off the Mastering Testosterone Cream course, 50% off of the Source List, 50% off of the Mastering Testosterone Cypionate course, and 50% off of the current coaching programs. Okay? This is only good until Sunday. This goes away Sunday. The code is terminated, so you've got 3 days or so, 2 days to pull the trigger on any of those things. All right, so that's the second important announcement that I've got. That this discount is going away starting Sunday. So, if you want to get on board with the current coaching packages, which are going to change as I described, but we will honor them for the duration that you book. If you book them by Sunday, you can still get 50% off right now, but that is going away and transitioning to a new pricing structure. All right, let's talk about the new pricing structure. So I'm going to bring you guys into my POA, which is my personal plan of action for the company and what is going to be happening moving forward. And we'll start with a new consultation, which will be launched sometime coming this week after the 50% special is over, which again ends Sunday. All right, so we removed the 1 month program. We're going to remove the 1 month program as part of this change. The 1 month program sort of it offered a month with me to go back and forth with protocol adjustments to try to get sexual function restored on TRT. However, what I found is that in 1 month, it is usually not enough time unless we are using a fast-acting ester. And we get it right the first time, which no matter how good I am as a coach, that doesn't always happen, right? People are going to require protocol adjustments, looking at estradiol and DHT specifically, and then making intelligent decisions based on a decision tree that sort of, I've got jotted down or written down as a framework to dial people in on TRT regarding sexual function. What it's being replaced with is the TRT sexual function protocol blueprint. All right. So I'm going to explain what this is, what the pain points are, what the selling points are, so to gauge folks' interest and see if this program is right for you moving forward. The price on this is $14.99. Okay, $14.99. Now this is actually cheaper than the 1 month option was $19.99. So this is about $500 cheaper. And this is a single session expert direction consult. All right. And there is no ongoing support with this. There's no ongoing support. So after we ultimately do our business, which is the call and protocol generation, you move forward. This option is for men on TRT who want expert level direction for resolving sexual dysfunction that includes erection problems, libido problems, sensation problems without coaching or ongoing hand holding. There's no ongoing communication. There's no protocol adjustments. What it is a call with me that is 30 minutes straight. It will be detailed fact finding from my side, trying to uncover precisely why you're having sexual dysfunction on TRT. You know, it usually relates to the ester, the protocol you're on. We'll get all of those details. If you have any recent labs, those are always useful to try to understand your particular picture in these situations. And then a protocol will be generated considering that this is a one-off consult with the most efficient plan of action moving forward. In other words, if you're on Cypionate and you're just having a hell of a time and you've tried virtually everything, we're not going to stay on Cypionate. You know, we're not, in order to get you the most efficient plan of action, we would just move to Test Proper Test Cream so that you can actually dial in quickly. After the fact-finding call with me, there will be an online document generated for you with a tailored plan of action, a protocol to start with, and then 3 to 5 additional routes of action should that protocol not actually be right. Again, practically speaking, no matter how good of a coach I am or how many cases I've seen, some people will need multiple adjustments to a protocol to get it right. That is just the nature of the beast of TRT, whether it's Cypionate or whether it is cream. Who is this for? Okay, this new sexual function single session call protocol generation, which again is launching next week. Still the 50% off discount on the current coaching options if you purchase this weekend stands, but it goes away on Sunday. I will honor them if you book this weekend, however. Who is this for? This is for people that want clarity on fixing sexual dysfunction on TRT and a definitive plan of action, not a back and forth. This is for folks that don't want to go back and forth with me on feedback, libido and erection scales from 1 to 10, 2 to 3 times a week, and multiple adjustments and Q&A sessions throughout and calls. That's essentially how the coaching programs work. This is for folks who've already tried protocols that did not work. Okay. This is for folks that want to understand why things failed. Like, why did your Cypionate protocol fail? Why did your cream protocol fail? I have the answers to all of those questions. And it's a program for people that are capable of executing a plan independently of my help afterwards. So again, there's no ongoing support. What's included? A structured, in-depth fact-finding call, symptom history, protocol history, labs if they're relevant, on the 30-minute focused call, a structured async deep dive, a tailored TRT restoration, sexual restoration protocol, and 3 to 5 clear routes of action based on how your body responds. What this is not: no ongoing support, no weekly check-ins, no protocol adjustments after delivery. All right. Now, moving on, we are doing the 3-month TRT sexual restoration intensive. Okay, this is one of the new programs that's going to be launching this coming week. Again, everything is getting overhauled at this point. What this is designed for, now this is much more intensive. It comes with ongoing support. This is for most cases, frankly, that need adjustments. A lot of adjustments, whether it's 2 or whether it's 7, need to be made with every ester, even cream, most of the time in order to dial. That's just the practical truth of dialing in male exogenous hormones. What it is designed to do: fix sexual dysfunction. Fix sexual dysfunction. Listen, TRT is not a set it and forget it way of fixing sexual dysfunction. You could spin your wheels for 2 fucking years and not resolve erection and libido issues, and that is painstaking. This program specifically is designed to fix that so that you can stop smashing your head against the wall, inducing ongoing frustration, because I know how frustrating it is to not dial a fucking TRT protocol in, and also to have libido and erections be subpar. I experienced that on cycle. I experienced that before TRT. It is a sucky feeling. So this program is an intensive, hands-on, guided program for guys that are on TRT who want to fully restore sexual function, erections, libido, sensation, climax, not partially improve it. If erections, libido, sensation, or climax quality, which are the four things that go wrong on HRT protocols, are compromised and previous protocols, clinics, or doctors have failed, this program, again, the 3-month TRT Sexual Restoration Intensive, is built to dial you in correctly. Who is this for? It's for people that want the issue of sexual dysfunction resolved, not just understood. It's for folks who've tried adjusting the dose, the frequency, or estrogen with limited success. It's for folks that want ongoing expert guidance, not trial and error. And it's for folks that are ready to actively engage and iterate. Make no mistake, if you're going to do a 3-month intensive with me, which again launches this coming week, the current coaching programs include all of this stuff too. That just, again, we're overhauling prices and we're overhauling the program names and what the programs actually are. These are all built for people that are ready to engage. Listen, I require feedback to achieve the greatest degree of success in restoring sexual dysfunction on TRT for men from users. And this happens primarily via a separate communication digital platform that we work on back and forth. And I need feedback on erections, libido, sensation, side effects, otherwise subjective experience, on protocol adjustments, etc. So what's included in the 3-month intensive? Detailed intake and deep dive analysis, obviously. Tailored TRT sexual function restoration protocol. Ongoing weekly async communication. We can talk 3 times a week. We can talk 7 times a week. We will talk when necessary, not necessarily every single day. But on the necessary items, we will be communicating, and I will be reaching out to you for a good degree of feedback. Up to 20 protocol adjustments as needed. I put that there so that folks know that we have a long runway, but 20 protocol adjustments is never, ever necessary. Yeah, it's usually 3 to 5. Sometimes we can get it done in a few. Sometimes the first protocol, although that's rare. Optimization of erections, libido, sensation, climax, strategic handling of estrogen, DHT sufficiency, SHBG considerations, because it's really not that important, but sometimes it plays a role. Central nervous system versus peripheral androgen effects. Okay, so that is the 3-month intensive. That is, again, going to be launching this coming week. So look out for that. Again, I want to make clear that the current coaching programs, which do include all of these things and are just priced differently, but they're 50% off right now until Sunday. If you book any of those over the weekend, we will still honor those for the duration of the booking. If you book for 3 months, you're on with 3 months, but they're 50% off until Sunday. That goes away, after which these new programs take place, and they'll be immediately replaced on the website. Okay, next is the most advanced version of sexual function coaching, and that's the 6-month advanced TRT sexual function restoration. The price point on that is $4,799, and this is for complex, long-standing, or repeatedly failed cases. So listen, if you have switched from Cypionate to Prop, and you've tried a bunch of different protocols, but you are still not able to dial in erections, libido, sensation, climax, or if you switch to cream, same thing. If you're on Cypionate, you've switched to Enanthate, whatever it is, and you've repeatedly failed at restoring erections, this is what the 6-month advanced sexual function restoration program is for. It is for long-standing erection, libido, sensation, or climax issues, a history of failed TRT adjustments, complex lab patterns, or high sensitivity to changes. There are folks that need to be in an excruciatingly painful, narrow band of estradiol in order to function sexually on TRT, and that, frankly, is more people than not. So this is for a lot of folks, and for men who want long-term stability on sexual function and not just improvement. Of course, the comprehensive diagnostic deep dive is included, advanced TRT sexual restoration protocols, ongoing weekly communication up to 20 protocol adjustments, but it comes with a higher level priority support, extended iteration cycles to fully restore sexual function, stabilize results, and avoid a regression. This is critically important. Why 6 months? All right, for those of you who actually have the budget on this, look, some cases do not resolve quickly. I want to emphasize some cases of sexual dysfunction do not resolve quickly. That is the practical reality of, the complex system of the neuroendocrine side of sexual function, which is 100% of sexual function for men. When cases don't resolve quickly, it forces men to do more harm than good if you're going for 3 months. Okay, for long-standing sexual dysfunction, you really want to go 6 months. If we do not have enough time to fix what may need penile rehabilitation, what may need a complete overhaul in the way that your body converts DHT to DHT versus estradiol, this stuff takes time. This program exists to do it correctly without rushing. Okay, I know that some of these price points are high. However, I've been doing this for more than 7 years. I am the world's foremost expert on resolving sexual dysfunction on TRT or from the use of hair loss drugs. If you want to do it right without rushing, do it for 6 months. This is the highest level of support that I offer for restoring sexual function on TRT. Again, this is a program that is launching this coming week and will be here for the new year. Again, for those of you that just jumped on board or watching this later, the current program still exists and they are still 50% off until Sunday. When that ends on Sunday, these new programs take effect. Last thing I wanted to mention is that there is, regarding programs, is that there is now a dedicated PFS recovery program. This is a post-finasteride syndrome restoration program that targets the restoration of erections, libido, sensation, and climax. And it's important to differentiate this program from the other programs. I don't want people that have PFS doing the 6-month program. I don't want them doing the 3-month program. I want them doing the PFS program. This is critically important because this is separate intake logic. It's going to be separate questions that I ask you to get to the bottom of your situation. Your guys' problem is, significantly differentiated from people that are on TRT that have sexual dysfunction, although the end numbers and targets are essentially the same. But we've got to determine things like, based on historical patterns of blood work, are you under converting to dihydrotestosterone and disproportionately favorably converting to estradiol, and how do we fix that? This includes erection restoration, libido restoration, sensation restoration, climax restoration, neurosteroid and HRT strategy, DHT restoration, estrogen balancing. These are the critical things that you folks on PFS need. So there will be a dedicated PFS protocol moving forward. Here it is here. I should actually make that bigger so that you folks can see. Price is $31.99, and it is for 4 months straight. Now, I want to make this clear. Usually, if 4 months is not enough time, I will not charge you more for more time. I will give you more time for free because I want the PFS folks to walk away fixed. Okay, digital products. So I just wanted to quick talk about one major digital product, and then we'll maybe take some questions and get some live stream action going on if you guys are here. And if folks have questions. The TRT Sexual Function Operating System. The simplest way that I could infuse my decision engine for restoring erections, libido, sensation, climax on TRT is to create an operating system for it, which will more than likely, it's going to be a digital product. It will more than likely be both a video course with decision trees and my engine, my logic engine for restoring sexual function, as well as a downloadable blueprint in the form of written text as an addition to the product. This is what makes it valuable because you actually get to see my decision trees on there. This is going to take a little bit of time to ultimately complete. I'm about 20% done with it. But when that launches for $397, this is going to be a great in-between for folks that don't want to do coaching, don't want to be ongoing, don't need ongoing support, but want to truly understand my decision-making framework for fixing sexual function on TRT. So that's going to be coming soon. And that is essentially all for the products and the product changes and the price changes. Now, I want to make one thing clear to you folks. Right now, as things stand, the current coaching options will be held until Sunday. And the 50% discount, this is the code, I'll flash it again on the top of the screen, that was extended for Cyber Week will be in effect until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, after which it is going away and everything is just going back to different prices. There will be no discounts on coaching. There will be no discounts on the consult. There will be no discounts on any of these things. So if you're thinking about getting on board with anything, you could either wait till the new programs launch, which are priced differently and ultimately priced lower. So, you really don't need a discount code for those, or you could save thousands of bucks right now and just do it and get on board with me. I would encourage folks that have cases that require attention quickly and that are long-standing to just use the 50% off code until that goes away on Sunday. That's going to go away on Sunday. The last thing that I will say is the Mastering Testosterone Cream course, as well as the Mastering Testosterone Cypionate course, launched at introductory prices of $99. They are now 50% off, so they're $50 at the moment. But those are going back to their full price, not the introductory price, of $127 per course. So that is another reason until Sunday to take advantage of getting product 50% off. This ends now. I've decided that this has to end. It was an incredible run for Cyber Week, for Black Friday. A lot of people got a lot of great product, but all good things must come to an end. And this is literally your last chance. All right, so I'm going to shrink that and put it on the top of the screen and just kind of keep it there for folks to monitor. And let me look and see if we have any questions. If you have any questions or anything that we've got to chat about. If not, we'll end the stream and say la vie. Love this guy. Hope you're doing great, man. Difference between the current 3-month program and the new one, apart from the price. It is essentially a price reduction. And the way that the communication works will be slightly different. That is all. We'll have a defined framework document that gets sent to you, which explains the communication. One of the things that I noticed on the 3 and 6 month programs is that our objective is to get to the business of fixing erections, libido, sensation, climax. But a lot of folks have been wanting to use those programs as sort of a couple, some folks want to run the protocol themselves and then just get my feedback, which for me is less work. But in the end, it ultimately almost always means that folks don't get great results because they're running the protocol. 99% of the time, people would put themselves on protocols that I wouldn't suggest, and that I would disagree with. And the protocols that I would suggest would be radically different than what they would suggest based on what I've seen. So, it's going to be, number one, not allowing folks to use me as a Q&A engine as they run their own protocols. And again, it's less work for me, but it gets people less results because they're using... it's just that they want to run the protocol and just get my take on it, which is always going to be, you shouldn't be running that protocol, and this is the protocol you should be running. And then again, it makes it clear that this isn't a Q&A session. This is we do a deep diagnostic, deep dive, fact finding, so that I can create a decision framework based on a complex understanding of why you're having sexual dysfunction on TRT, and we can just employ it with exclusively feedback from you in the meantime and adjustments from me, while you take instructions on, when to go look at labs, when our next point at which we may have to change something is, as well as those follow-up changes. And that's essentially it. Again, the Cyber Week discount will be in effect for the duration of the weekend, after which it is going away. And all of these new products and new price changes will take effect starting Monday. All right, so this is the absolute last opportunity. We had an incredible run with the 50% discount, but we can't keep giving coaching away for 50% off, and we can't keep giving products away for 50% off. Everything's going back to the regular price. So please keep that in mind. You got 2.5 days till Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, where all this stuff goes back to regular price, and the coupon codes that have been given for this are going to terminate. They are set on a schedule to not work after 11:59 p.m. Eastern time this coming Sunday. All right, boys, looks like there's no questions here. So I hope that this has been a detailed breakdown of what is to come. There are a lot of exciting fucking products. In addition to the TRT Sexual Function Blueprint, there's going to be more products. There's going to be the Testosterone Propionate Advantage. That will be an entirely different blueprint on restoring sexual function on TRT with Test Prop. And there will be hosts of other products so that folks have more options for defined problems. You know, in addition to the PFS protocol, I may even just make a PFS recovery blueprint, which ultimately will be cheaper, but will allow folks to not have me ongoingly. If you just want to execute and have infused into your brain everything I know about PFS and what I have seen work, you would just get that blueprint. And that's going to be coming out sometime in the next month as well. So look forward to that. All right, boys. So live stream tomorrow. We'll do an actual Q&A live stream tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern time. So Saturday. Please look forward to that. I will see you there. Be square. We'll talk about some of this then, but mostly Q&A, where we just shoot the shit and talk about TRT. Hope you guys are enjoying your last week of work, hopefully, and this fucking coming week you get to take a little bit of a break. I will be not doing content, obviously, Christmas Eve, probably from the 23rd to, I don't know, late December, possibly early January, but come the new year, we're fucking hitting the ground running, so look forward to that. It's going to be awesome. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for folks. I mean, you'll see me before then, but I just want to wish folks a Merry Christmas and, happy whatever else you celebrate. And I hope that you guys are able to take some well-deserved time off and fucking enjoy yourselves and be with family and eat well, but take care of your body in the meantime. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll chat soon. Peace.